Welcome to the roller coaster ride of business with Hannah Edwards on Global Voice Radio. Hannah and her guests share the real deal, the ups and downs, the highs and lows of building a business. Here is your host, Hannah Edwards.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the roller coaster ride of business. I'm Hannah Edwards, and today we're talking about all things social media with Tamara Collins. Thank you for joining me.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
So I'm just gonna put my pen down to keep going with that. So we're talking about everything to do with social media, and I got recommended you by several people in the group because of what you do. So if you want to explain to us all about your business.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I do with social media is I help businesses of all different sizes. So it could be brick and mortar. It could be someone local that's trying to expand into social media, or it could be an online business, helping them to get visible and helping them to kind of show up on Google and get ranked and figure out kind of what their next step is to really get their business out there to everybody.
So you're like the social media queen?
I'm trying to be. I'm not going to say I'm like the queen or the guru at it, but I'm pretty decent. I've been doing it for about the last 8 or 9 years. Locally, I do it for a multi-million-dollar construction company.
Nice.
And, I love it, and I love what I do, and I love working very hands-on with people.
Yeah.
But I kind of figured out the formula that I needed to do for them. And so it was time to step up and do something for myself.
Yeah.
And so I started my own business to help other people get theirs off the ground.
That's very cool.
I like it.
So when it comes to social media, obviously I prefer Facebook, and I'm just getting into Instagram at the moment with everything because I have a virtual assistant business as well as the business magazine, and obviously as well as the show. So I found that Instagram, with everything that I do, is becoming really good. And as I'm going along with my show, I'm putting the logo up on there and like links to where they can find the podcast and everything. So what's your favorite platform to work on?
I have to say so far it's probably still Facebook. But that's because a lot of what I do has to do with creating that personal connection with people.
Yeah.
So each platform is a little bit different. For you, Instagram makes total sense as a VA because you're showing them what you can do graphically, what you can build for them, what you can create for them. Your magazine is very visually stunning. And so it makes sense that Instagram would be a solid platform. For you, for me, in my business, I'm looking to reach out and talk to people about what they need, and I'm looking to kind of establish that relationship connection. And Facebook so far is still best for really getting that deeper conversation with people because you have the group.
Think Facebook's ever going to go away.
No, it's definitely continuing to change, but I don't see it going away. I see it attempting to evolve to match the other platforms. We're trying to offer more. This
is it. I mean, when you think about all the social media platforms that there have been. I mean, when I was younger, it was MySpace. And there's been, God, I can't remember half of them, like Tumblr, you don't really hear that. It's still going, but it's completely changed from what it was at the beginning.
Tumblr is a lot more for young people.
Yeah.
My daughter is 14 and she is obsessed with Tumblr. And it's like a visual version of Twitter. So
I was in my 20s and everyone was just like, you need to get on Tumblr and get this going, and I was just like, okay. So I don't even remember the login to mine. That's how long it's been since I've been on there. But then as it's gone on, it's just like, well, actually there are so many more younger people on there that it's just wow.
Well, a lot of it's very meme based.
Yeah.
And there's quite an information and opinion exchange on Tumblr.
Yeah.
But so far as Tumblr for business, it's not quite as avid of a platform.
Exactly. And this is what confused me when I was being recommended it. I was like, I can't use this for any business. What is this?
No, it's definitely more on a social side, but they said the same thing about Snapchat. And then you look at people like Gary Vee, and he is smashing it with Snapchat. So,
Exactly. I mean, like Snapchat, you have so many celebrities on there that have their own businesses. Like, I'm not ashamed to say, I'm on Snapchat and I follow so many different people on there that, like, when you go on there, I mean, you've got Kylie Jenner, who her lipstick range is all over Instagram, all over
oh
Snapchat.
yeah,
She's making millions.
oh yeah,
And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, when this first came out, it was all, oh my God, look at the filters. That now Snapchat's been bought out by Facebook.
right.
It's become fantastic for business.
Mm-hmm.
And
When
actually,
they're
I
doing,
quite love it. I'm not going to lie. I do quite love a bit of Snapchat.
I'm trying to love Snapchat. Um, I was not on the quick to adapt to Snapchat, and
Yeah,
I didn't see a whole lot of point to it. But then, kind of as it's grown and it's evolved, and you go, there's Snapchat stories, and so you can follow all these people. And then there's the
yeah,
explore feature, so you can see what's happening near you. And it's kind of become a little more involved
yeah.
than just the little 10-second your video disappears and it's gone. And which I still don't like. I don't. My sister-in-law will send me pictures of my nieces and nephews, and I'll watch their little videos, and they talk to me, and they're gone, and there's just nothing I can't get them back.
Well, this is
Terrible.
it. I mean, they turn around and tell you if you screenshot the photo while it's on your screen, it saves it to your phone. But I don't think that works for video.
No, it's off. I told her she's not allowed to send me any more kid videos via Snapchat. I can't handle it. It's heartbreaking. I'll never get them back. But I do like the instant and immediate access to behind the scenes stuff. As a business, it lends a more intimate view to what you're doing.
Exactly. I'm going to a business expo in July in the town that I work in, and Snapchat will be great for it. But then again, I think even Instagram stories will be better because it all builds up, and like, just I can go into there, I can record a little thing, and like,
Right.
I mean, I've got just over 400 followers on Instagram that, because I don't really use my Snapchat for my business, I'm thinking about it. Um, and I think for the magazine, like even the virtual assistant business, just like a quick snap of where I'm working for the day and stuff like that will be a
Right.
good thing. But I find myself going more towards Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
Facebook. I've started a bit on Twitter. Like I will tweet out like when there's a new
Right.
issue of the magazine out. I send the occasional tweet out for if you're looking for a virtual assistant.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I tweet out about like when I've done a new blog or the show. I mean, when we first started the magazine, I sent a tweet out saying I'm looking for writers, and we had loads of people just suddenly write, "What's your email address?"
Yeah.
So it's great because obviously the hashtags on there are great for journalist style stuff. So I think it's
Absolutely.
a platform that I need to start using a bit more on.
For the
I,
magazine, for sure.
yeah, but I like the personal bit of Facebook, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I mean, Twitter for your magazine, because it is more of a news-based platform, it
Yeah,
is very like up to the minute kind of stuff. And so if you're using the hashtags and you're hashtagging your business name, or you're hashtagging looking for writers, or you pick something that's very specific to what you're doing,
yeah,
um, you can tag them with the @ symbol the same way that you would tag them on Facebook. But it's definitely a very different audience than, say,
definitely.
Facebook.
Yeah,
Twitter is more male leaning, and it's a little bit on the older side. And so with you being empowered businesswomen, it's going to be a harder platform for your magazine.
definitely.
For virtual assisting, it might not be half bad though.
But it's like, I sit there and I'm just like, there's so many social media things. I mean, Facebook has bought out Instagram and Snapchat. So the platforms are becoming quite similar with the story style stuff. Uh,
Yes.
I'm waiting for them to take over Twitter, to be honest with you. I think Mark Zuckerberg's going to just take over the whole social media world.
You could be right. He would be smart to do it that way, because then he's kind of catering and meeting everyone on
Yeah,
the same front. You have your Facebook stories and your Instagram stories, and I've kind of just rolled into those.
yeah,
I think that the Instagram stories was kind of their attempt to be more interactive like Facebook. And I think it's worked really well for them. They have cooler filters. They have cooler, little graphics that you can use instead of the Facebook stories. And you get a little bit of both. It's a very visual platform.
I mean, there's Facebook pages and Facebook groups. And now all of a sudden you can link your group to your Facebook page, which I didn't realize about until the other day when I looked at a group and it said link to page and stuff. So I was like, okay, sounds good. But like, there's minimal interaction on Facebook pages now that you can have a group for your business and stuff.
The visibility on your Facebook pages is really low, and there's quite a bit of debate as to whether linking your business page to your personal page affects your visibility.
Yeah.
Because if they're linked, it can cut down your organic visibility on your business page. And so far the general consensus is not to link your business page. Now, you can link your business page to your group because that one's not going to affect it and it's going to show a community base. But you have to have engagement on it. The trick though is there's a lot of ways to boost your engagement on your page. But you have to kind of approach it very aggressively. So you're gonna have to approach it through your personal page to get traffic to your business page, unless you plan on spending a ton of money on ads.
Well, I got a free voucher from Facebook end of last year time because I've done social media so much that they decided we'll give you a free ads voucher. And I got nothing from it. Like, I mean, it was coming up like 3,000 odd people of my target audience for my virtual assistant business had seen the post. But there was no click through. There was no follow back. So I'm not quite sure whether I like the option of Facebook ads.
It's real hit and miss. You have to have a lot of money put into it.
Yeah.
And when you're looking at audience reach, as far as who sees your ads, 3,000 is still considered a very small group. You're looking in the millions that you're wanting to hit. And so with your ads, there's different kind of goals that you set. One of them could be conversion, could be sales. The other might be just reach and getting page likes. So once a certain amount of people like your page, Facebook says, oh, people like this, I'm going to show it more often.
Yeah.
And so you could run an ad that just gets likes to the page, but then if those people don't then engage, it doesn't do you any good.
Well, this is it. I mean, my likes for my page went up, but the only people that I'm finding are liking the stuff that I'm posting are the friends on my friend list. And it's like, oh, we like it, we're supporting you with your business kind of thing.
Right.
They're not business owners, so they're not going to use my VA services. They're not going to need them.
Right.
And there's a whole lot of debate at the moment about Facebook scheduler versus things like buffer. Apparently, Facebook schedule your posts as opposed to using an outside scheduling thing. Your reach and everything is better. Like your insights to it all are better than you would find with an outside one.
I have been reading a lot about that the last couple weeks, and independent study over study, even including from Facebook, says that there is no difference. And in some, the third-party ones perform better because they have their own organic group that also promotes and pushes their posts.
Yeah.
The reason that Facebook included the scheduler is because they're trying to keep you on their platform. It's the same reason that they bought Snapchat. They bought because they're doing everything they can to keep you on their page. If you're using third-party sites, then you're scheduling all your stuff outside of Facebook and you're not actually going into Facebook.
Yeah.
That's their goal, is so that you go into Facebook. If I could post everything from Buffer and never interact, why would I bother? I would just post all of my stuff and be like, hey, I'm done for the day.
I love Buffer.
I love Buffer. The problem with using things like Buffer is, and the reason that they say it takes down your engagement, is if you create these posts, but then you never go in and you don't check back and you don't answer comments and you don't engage with the post, it's not going to show up. It's going to be invisible. So if you use the third-party sites, you have to still engage with them.
Yeah.
and use engagement posts.
They're only just allowing Instagram to have their post scheduled now, I've noticed. Like before, it was a big, massive no-no, and accounts were getting shut down. And now all of a sudden, there's this platform that you can schedule Instagram posts on.
Right. And like with Buffer, you can set it up to schedule Instagram, but you get a little reminder that says, hey, it's time to schedule your Instagram. We copied the content, and then you still have to go into Instagram and paste it and post it.
Yeah.
And so it's still a stricter platform than the other ones for third party.
It kind of stumps me though that considering Facebook and Snapchat are now owned by, now own Instagram.
I don't know. I'm not sure why they do that either, and why they're stricter on the third party than the other sites are. Unless they're trying, because like the whole thing with Instagram was capture, whatever real moment you're living in right then. And so maybe that's their goal with not having the third party postings or not having scheduled, is that they want it to be more spontaneous.
It makes sense. But then when you sit there and you think about how busy business people are, if they want to just post up, like I said, I post up there my logo with I've got a new blog post done and stuff like that. And it would just be so much easier if those ones I could schedule, and then my in the moment ones I do in the moment.
Right. It makes a ton more sense. And, a lot of content planning, when you're using those third party, you'll have one or two that are pre-planned, and then you're going to have one or two that are spontaneous in the moment, so that people are acting with them, or a video or something similar.
But this is it. It would just take out so much time, and it would just be so much better for me, definitely.
Yeah, maybe they're trying to push people, though, to use Instagram ads for that same thing.
See, I never even knew about Instagram ads. You've just taught me something, that there are ads for Instagram.
You can advertise on Instagram, yes.
That's mental. I never thought that they would be allowing advertising on there.
And see, I'm not sure how I feel about them advertising or not. It doesn't seem, I don't know. It doesn't seem as organic to me. Like Facebook, you expect it. And Instagram, not so much. You're not expecting that. Twitter ads, for example, I don't expect it in Twitter either when I'm scrolling through, but you can buy Twitter ad space you can buy it for dirt cheap.
Yeah.
I love it. Or Instagram Messenger ads. I'm really obsessed with those right now. I haven't bought any yet, but I think they're great. I scroll through my Messenger and I'm like, hey, what's this? Oh, that's cool. I can get a massage at this crazy place for dirt cheap. I get really excited about it.
So what do you think about Instagram pods? I mean, I know they're starting to show up on Facebook and stuff like that. Just a group of people that go through, and they're the ones that are liking your stuff all the time.
Right. It makes a ton of sense. The same way as you're trying to get engagement on Facebook, you work within a Facebook group and you say, okay, I'm going to post X and Y, and you all are going to like it and engage in it so that I get better visibility. And I like the concept, but if you're going to use a pod, you have to have a really dedicated group of people with you for it to work. Because it doesn't do you.
And they've just filtered out, because no one's got the time to sit there and go over every single post you've put up. But then I was reading somewhere that the more the same people like your stuff on Instagram, it's lessening your reach to just those people that are liking it, because you're not getting further afield.
Right. Well, I mean, it's still the same type of algorithm and the same type of math as Facebook. So let's say that 8 or 9 people like my stuff all the time, So the computer says, oh, I need to make sure that these 10 people see her postings all the time because they like it. They want to be a part of it. If it's only those 10 people and you never expand and never add new people, it's not going to view it as being anything different. Now, if each and every week you add 2 or 3 more people to that group, it's going to be like, oh, more people like her stuff. Or say you commit to sharing each other's things. Like, okay, hey, you have this cool promotion. I'm going to share your promotion with my group, and you're going to do the same. Because then I'm serving your content to 5,000 people that aren't in your group. Yeah. Well, I don't know. You and I have 55 mutual friends out of my 5,000. So that's a whole different set of people. And then Facebook is like, oh, Hannah's now in front of these 5,000 other people, and a bunch of them liked her stuff. So I'm going to start to show that. And there's simple tricks to get your stuff to show up in front of new people and more people. Like Facebook is really easy for it. You talk about using groups, or you talk about going in. When you get a new friend, go in and like some of their stuff from, like, not just that recent post, but go back, like their stuff, comment on their stuff, go through their videos. The more it shows, because that shows the computer, okay, these two have a relationship with each other. They like each other. And so it'll show your content to them. Like if you're going to post a video, or you're going to post your magazine link, spend the first 20 minutes beforehand liking and commenting on other people's material, because it's going to then promote your stuff to them, because it's going to show you have a relationship.
Is that you can post as your page. So like, I can go through and I can comment on, say, something that you've posted up, but as my business page. And
I love that
option. I love that option.
Love that.
Otherwise, it's just driving people to my personal page. And whilst I've got business stuff on there, my personal page is my personal page. Like, that's updates for my family and friends.
Right. Well, and I mean, I post a lot of stuff business related on my personal page because, like you said, that's where the vast majority of my audience is. Because as you're in these groups and as you're in these things, it shows you. So they click on you and they're like, hey, you know. So you need to make sure that your personal page is maximized for them to redirect where you want them to. One
thing I'm going to mention and see what you think of it, LinkedIn. It's a very touchy subject with a lot of people.
I am all about LinkedIn, but LinkedIn is very specific.
Yeah.
And LinkedIn is very much geared towards, I want this particular business to business relationship. I want this referral for this type of thing. It definitely kind of lacks the more intimate social connection that you might get with, say, Facebook or Instagram. It's much more kind of all business in what you're trying to achieve.
You can see, like, it's got such a clear, like, user face, and everything that you want is in that one section that you go to. The one problem that you have with some of the other platforms is you've got to go into a section and go into a section and then go into a section before you even get to the thing you're looking for.
Right. I like LinkedIn messaging. It was never really a huge thing, and now it's become a more prominent, like they added, like, their new work anniversary, tell them congratulations on their promotion, do this to try and create a sense of relationship that LinkedIn was really lacking. But then it just turns into these hollow messages that are like, oh, congrats on your new position, when you know that they didn't actually type anything, they just hit the button. And so you're really not building a relationship, so to speak. So if you're going to use that as a relationship builder, you have to put the work into it.
Yeah, a lot of people that I've spoken to are like, why are you on there? And I'm like, well, because I'm a virtual assistant as well. So I need to go on there and I need to start making those connections and stuff like that. There are people that I don't know how they've managed to do it. They've set up their personal page so you actually can't connect with them on there.
That's crazy.
And like, you go to some people's pages and you can mail them, but you can't actually connect with them. And I'm like, well, to me, that doesn't make sense. You're on a platform that you're wanting to connect with people, surely. But
I can't see any reason you would want to do that.
Right, to me, social media is all about connecting with people and building up the personal relationships and stuff. And how can you do that if you don't let anyone actually go with you on it?
Well, and I mean, that's what
thousands of friends on there.
That's mind-blowing to me. And I mean, social media, it doesn't matter what platform you're looking at the end of the day, bottom line, it all comes down to connecting to other people. Exactly. Your entire goal for your business is to have a face-to-face conversation or a messenger conversation, whatever that looks like, to sell your product or to talk about your product. A lot of people, I mean, I won't say that you have to have that. A lot of people will sign up for courses without ever communicating. They might sign up for a webinar that you have without ever speaking to you. But the vast majority, not so much. It's because they like your brand. It's because they've followed you, they've spoken with you. They're like, oh yeah, she totally knows what's up. And that's why. I can't see how you would ever want to have a page that people couldn't interact with you.
It makes no sense to me. I mean, I've got people connecting on my LinkedIn and stuff like that with me, and I've sent connection requests off. Mm-hmm. And I know people that have made thousands of pounds just through LinkedIn.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I'm putting posts up and it's only like the same 1 or 2 people that are liking it. So I've got all those connections there that are seeing my stuff, but it's just like, well, can't be bothered to like that. Like, so.
Now, are you also utilizing though, like the jobs posting pages, or that you're looking for jobs? Like you could post that you're looking for a freelance job or a writing job or something of that nature, so that you're opening yourself up to those opportunities, not just from networking.
I post my first article on there. I've seen different sections of it, and I've been on there for ages. But as I'm growing business-wise, and I'm learning new things, I'm starting to use it more. So the other day, I posted my first article on there about why hiring a virtual assistant benefits your business. So then right now I need to learn a completely different section of it. There's so much to it, and I think that's where people struggle. They just see it as like maybe a Facebook rip-off kind of thing. Make these connections. You have your own like and share and comment, but until they dig deeper into it, they don't actually realize how good it is for like those business-to-business connections.
Right, and it's a huge game changer. With LinkedIn in particular, you could find someone that does a complementary service. Like say I do social media. Social media is what I do, but I don't do video. I couldn't create a nicely put together video if I tried. And so I might go to LinkedIn and I might say, I'm looking for a videographer. I'm looking for someone who can piece together my clients' commercials. Yeah. And ask them, say, hey, I will refer work to you if you refer work to me. So you have someone that wants help with, say, getting their commercial out there, or how to get it on YouTube and how to create buzz around their launch. And you create these little networking groups. And so you find a complementary person for whatever your niche is. And you can do that on any social platform. But LinkedIn particularly gives you kind of an advantage in that, because those people are there strictly to find referrals. That is why LinkedIn exists. That's what it's for. Or to find a job. I mean, initially that was the main basis.
I don't think it's anything good for something that's like people who sell products and stuff like that. I know that people have tried setting up a profile and they're like, I make this product or I make that product. And everyone on LinkedIn's like, you're really on the wrong platform.
Yeah, product, not so much. Services, like a VA service, perfect. Or if I'm, selling social media management or content creation or something of that nature, a service that a business would do well with. Yeah. If you're more of a product base, you're going to struggle. You're going to have a hard time with LinkedIn. Unless you're like an engraving company or an embossing company, you create some type of promotional gifts for companies. Yeah. Because if so, then you're probably going to do fairly well.
All these businesses on there that are like...
Yeah. But you have to really have something that is complementary. Yeah. If I'm trying to sell, my special juice mix, it's not going to happen. It's going to be rough.
So earlier you mentioned YouTube. That's another thing that like blew my mind. When YouTube first came around and I first heard of it, it was music, like Britney Spears uploaded music videos. Like, Britney Spears' team uploading her music videos. Or it was used for like when people are doing like their skateboarding tricks and stuff like that. Now all of a sudden it's this whole I'm a vlogger. I mean, like we said earlier, this video is going to be going up. I've just set myself up a YouTube channel on recommendation by Denise, who is the Global Voice founder. But it never occurred to me that YouTube is something for business until I found, we have a person over here, a vlogger over here called Zoella. And I mean, she is so much younger than me. I mean, I'm 31 and she is so much younger than me. And she's making like thousands of pounds off of it. And like all of a sudden, it's blown up. Like you can go on there and find people doing makeup tutorials, like, and they're getting all this makeup sent to them because someone has sat there from a makeup company and watch their YouTube videos all day to find the best one that they want to sponsor. And it's just like, well, hang on a second. Like,
I don't know. I wish that I knew how to do makeup or something like that, because I really feel like that's where all the money is those types of videos. But YouTube is huge. It's a giant search engine. You can ask for anything. How do I make slime? You're going to get 80 billion videos about how to make slime. Exactly. Or, you know, how do I get rid of an ingrown toenail? You're going to get a bunch of nasty videos of people trying to get rid of ingrown toenails. But it's going to happen. You're going to find them. You can find anything and everything on YouTube. And the trick with that is, as long as you're charismatic and people are watching your videos, it doesn't even matter what you post or what you talk about, because there's going to be someone out there looking for it. 1 in 5 people right now do a voice search every day.
I find it insane. It's gone from this music platform. Like, there were people that have got recording contracts now that were discovered on YouTube because it was the place to be for music.
Yeah, tons of them.
You see a music video you like on TV, you go straight onto YouTube so you can just watch it over and over again, right?
And everything else that they made to see if you like it.
Yeah. Now it's like, well, I'm just going to go to YouTube to find out how to do this, or I'm going to go to YouTube because my favorite makeup artist has just uploaded a new video, and it baffles me how far like all these platforms have taken it.
Well, and I mean, it's really great for business if you think about it, because I could post, let's say, how to create a landing page on WordPress.
Yeah.
And I do a screen share for 3 minutes and I show you how to walk through it. You get a ton of value. And then at the end, I say, you know, if you want more tips on how to set up your social media, call me here. Yeah. Easy kind of stuff. And you walk them through all these things. They're like, wow, she's amazing. I should work with her. And you could post anything you want on there.
Yeah.
Because people want to know about it. There's going to be somebody that watches it.
It just, social media in general is insane just how much it's blown up, especially in the last, like, I want to say 5 years.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Five years is about right. Like, you think about it, and you had mentioned MySpace. And I was thinking back before that, like AOL, you remember how you had chat groups and you would just hope that someone came on randomly and you strike up a conversation and then you go into a separate chat group together so you can chit chat. That's basically what Facebook did. Only now you have names and now you get to see who they are before you hit message and you're like, hey.
Last night.
You're not a weird random stranger. Cool. It's basically the same thing. MySpace came out with something called My Yearbook. And it was a weird little offshoot of MySpace where you could like people's photos, you could vote on their photos, you could judge them, you could do this and that. It was like the baby version of Facebook before Facebook was a thing. And it was crazy how much interaction it got. People just went nuts over it because they liked that connectedness. They liked that ability to shift and to personalize.
And I think if MySpace was still used now, because I mean, I know the guy, like, he sold it, it was one of those platforms that it was just all these people were clamoring to buy it, and he's done so well. Like, he sold it, he's got his money, and I think if it was around now, I think it would be a fantastic tool for like certain businesses and stuff like that, just getting it out there.
It exists, but MySpace is completely different. MySpace is now a music channel. It's a music platform.
That's insane.
Yeah. And so MySpace is for new artists and or emerging or indie. If you're someone in the music scene, MySpace is still a relevant thing and kind of coming back into fruition. Like, do you remember in MySpace when you got to choose your top 5 songs or whatever played in the background when people were listening to your page? How important it was that you had the right song on your profile.
Like, it was just mad. Like, you were putting on there, right, well, I'm just going to put this song on there. I might not like it, but I'm putting it on there because everyone else has it.
Exactly. Yeah. And so they've kind of adopted that.
Yeah.
It's a music platform now, and you can do streaming music.
And I think that's where it's become, like, where Facebook and everything has become good, because you can show people, like, that are interested in your services, like, they can see your Facebook page, and then they can actually click on your name and find out that you are a human. Like,
oh yeah,
you're not one of these big corporate businesses where the image is like one big table and just like really scary people sat around in suits.
Right. Well, I mean, if you think about directories and you think about people went to the yellow pages and you look up waterproofer and you pray that you don't get some weird shady dude in a beat up truck and that there's somebody reputable, you can now do the same thing with social media, and you can look at their company, you can see job photos, reviews, you can go in and really get an in-depth view.
Yeah.
And when you're buying something, it's all about that know, like, and trust.
Definitely.
And with social media, you can get that really quickly.
Yeah.
You can also tarnish it really quickly, though. You know, if your profile is not set up well, or you have like super scandalous photos of what you did in Cancun last weekend, and you're trying to tell people that, you know, you're this virtuous, upstanding business citizen.
Probably not a good thing to have on your Facebook.
Exactly. And so it's kind of a double-edged sword, because it can be used for all these great things, but at the same time, you're going to be judged instantaneously on your profile.
So what are your 5 top social media tips for people that are listening and viewing?
Top 5. I'm going to say the first one has to do with making sure your profile does speak to who you are. If I go to your page, I should have an idea of what you do, why you do it. Like in your little I help your bio on the left-hand side, I help business owners find their social media and get seen. I want to know exactly what you do and why.
Yeah.
Your little featured photos or your albums, because if I'm looking at your Facebook, I'm trolling your stuff. I'm going through everything I can find to figure out who you are as a person. And so I'm going to look at your photos, I'm going to look at your offerings, I'm going to look at your reviews if you have any. If you don't have any, get some. That's tip number 2. They say that facts tell and stories sell. If you have the option to get reviews, so say you and I do this phone interview right now. I haven't bought your service, I haven't done anything of that nature. Say, hey, Tamara, could you write me a review about our interview together? Did you enjoy it? Was it fun? Was I engaging? Did you learn anything? However those reviews happen, ask for them from all the people that you're working with. Family, friends, anyone you collaborate with, because reviews really help to sell other people. Definitely. Right now, 68% of the buying decisions are made on social media based on friend and family referral. So tip 2 is to get as many referrals as you can. Tip 3, think about the platform that you're on for what you're selling. Like Facebook is more feminine leaning. It's more relationship based. Twitter, instant to the minute news updates. It has to be hyper relevant. Sports also does really well. Anything sports related does really well on Twitter. And it is a little more male skewed. Pinterest, older female skewed. How-to, crafts, anything of that nature. If you have an Etsy store, you would better have a Pinterest. Think about the platform that you're using and who you're trying to reach. The second one, we're on 4. Okay. Tip 4 is going to be, once you know your audience and where you're at, make sure you're addressing their pain points. So say I'm offering a visibility course and I'm teaching people how to get Google ranked. How do I speak to that? What exactly is the problem I'm solving? Do you have a business but nobody knows about it? Are you struggling to make sure that you get clients to your door continuously that you can talk to, that you can interview? Take my 5-day course on visibility to get you ranked on page 1 for Google. You want to make sure that you're very specific in what they get out of working with you. And then the last one is about connection. So a lot of the reason that Facebook has changed a lot of its algorithms and changed the way that it does things is because it was feeling like spam to people. It was too many ads. It was too much business in my face. People weren't seeing their family, their friends. They weren't getting the really deep connection that they wanted to have.
Yeah.
And so to combat that, Facebook said, well, fine, we won't show any of that. You have to be organic. You have to do what you want. And so a way to combat that is to make sure that you're being social, that you're being a person on your Facebook. Yeah. So you might do an engagement question. Are you struggling to make sure that you're getting everything done in your day? And you get a bunch of people that say, yeah, every single day. If I don't have 15 cups of coffee, I'm dying. Message that person and be like, hey, thank you so much for commenting on my stuff. I feel super overwhelmed sometimes too. What do you think might help you?
Yeah.
Oh, I just feel like I'm not prioritizing my time well enough. I'm not, doing the things that I need to do that are the most impactful. Okay, well, I'm a virtual assistant. I can take care of a lot of these small tasks so that you can focus on your major priorities.
Yeah.
You've reached out to that person and you've become a real person and you've opened the conversation. So if you're posting these engagement questions and someone likes the comment, go find them, like their stuff, be a part of their Facebook, be a part of their relationship, and really figure out how you can help them. And if you can't, don't tell them that you can do something and then not deliver, because that's just, it's going to tank your business really fast if you're not delivering on what you say you will. But be social, be a real person, or people are going to see through it immediately.
Yeah.
If you're just looking to sell your services every time you talk to someone, nobody's going to talk to you. That's probably the biggest one. That's why social media exists, is to be social.
Exactly. And you find that actually more people are social with the people they know on social media than they are in real life at the moment.
100% true. I definitely talk to more people in a day on social media than I do in person.
Okay, so my final question for you is nothing to do with social media at all, but obviously March 8th is International Women's Day, and this year is 100 years since women have managed to get the vote. What does that mean to you, like International Women's Day?
I think I was actually reading an article about the change in women empowerment and the change in how we as female leaders instruct our children that, they can be anything they want to be. They're powerful, they're strong, they're confident, they're engaging. And so girls are growing into these strong, empowered ladies. Yeah. And a lot of that has to do with those early movements to say, you know what, I can do this. I'm done, And it's not that women haven't been doing that. I'm going to run a family. I'm going to run the finances. I'm going to run. They just weren't given kind of the light saying, hey, you're killing it. And so I think it's been really cool to see. And it allows for women like you and I to start businesses and to step into our element and be like, yes, I got this. And then we teach our children, hey, you got this. Like, don't let anyone tell you any different. Now they're talking about Oprah running for president. Like, who would have thought that?
Amazing.
She's a Black woman. Who would have ever even seen that as a concept?
Exactly. But that would be amazing, and I think she should.
I'd be real tight. I saw, was it Time Magazine? I don't know. It said, we asked Oprah to be president, and she answered, and I almost bought it to see what she said because I didn't read the article. But how cool would that be?
That would be amazing. She's such a fantastic person.
Oh, yeah. Just out of control. And I think the more women we see in power and the more women we see doing and living that life, the better it's going to be.
Definitely.
It's a huge shift. Huge shift. I feel proud to be a part of it.
Definitely, me too. That's amazing. Thank you very much for joining me. Okay, guys, you can find me on Facebook at Empowered VA or Empowered Magazine UK or Empowered Magazine. Can't remember. I think it's Empowered Magazine that you can find me at, and you can find Tamara at businessboldly.com or Business Boldly on Facebook. Thank you for joining me. It's been a fantastic discussion, and I'm definitely going to be putting your tips in use.
Thank you, Miss Anna.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Join Hannah Edwards and the roller coaster ride of business every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern on Global Voice Radio, where your voice is heard.